Hello, welcome to Bass Guitar Review. My name's Kev Sanders, and today we've got our hands on this rather tasty looking MTD Kingston Super 4-string bass. Although the Tobias company was owned by Gibson for many years, since early '94, top American luthier Michael Tobias has run his MTD Design studio and workshop from his base in Kingston, New York, where he and his small team produce 10 or so custom basses a month. They're exclusive and they're very expensive. And some of the world's great players like Jimmy Haslett, Galen Dorsey and gospel maestro Andrew Gauch use MTD basses. But not all of us can afford £6 or £7 grand for a bass. So a while ago, Michael Tobias introduced the Kingston range, designed by the man himself, but with manufacturing outsourced to keep prices down. This Super 4-string is a 34-inch scale bass with a 24-fret one-piece neck. The body is carved ash with a figured maple top. There's an active EQ and two style pickups, each with its own coil split and parallel switch. List price for the MTD Kingston Super 4 bass is £1,099, but we've seen retailers selling them for around about the £900 mark. Before we go any further though, let's check out some more clips before we get into my thoughts and impressions. Taking the bass out of its gig bag, I got the impression of a sleek, stylish looking bass. Its fluid and well-proportioned shape instantly recognisable as a Tobias design. The flame maple top has a lovely even figure, surprisingly so given the price, though the satin polyester finish perhaps doesn't show it off to its best. Sitting with the bass for the first time, I was immediately impressed by the access to the dusty end thanks to the deep cutaway, and I found it to be a comfortable instrument to get around on right from the word go. Sonically, a real highlight of this bass is the quality of the mid-frequencies. Though with the controls set flat, you still get a balanced tone. Compared to the unplugged sound, the The amplified tone is perhaps a little less top-end zing than I was expecting, and I found myself dialing in a little more treble on the active EQ to compensate for this. Each pickup can be configured in one of three ways. With the toggle switch up, you get both coils of the humbucker in parallel for a softer and more scooped mid-range, with a touch more bite up top. Moving the switch to the middle position gives you just one of those coils for a clear defined tone, closer to a jazz-based single coil character. And finally, with the switch down, you get both coils in series, which significantly boosts the output and the thickness of the mid-range. Both pickups can be set individually and blended with the pan control, giving a wide range of tones, ideal for those players who like making on-the-fly adjustments. These different pickup configurations give quite distinct sounds and can't necessarily be replicated just using EQ. And we can see this flexibility making this bass great for studio work especially, where you can really hear and appreciate the different voices on offer. Overall, the Kingston has an interesting combination of a contemporary sustain and dynamic response, paired with a darker character than you might expect given the normally bright nature of the Music Man style pickups. Out of the box, I felt the action was a little on the high side, but was able to correct this quickly by adjusting the bridge saddles. With that taken care of, I was able to enjoy the fast playability that the slim and shallow neck offers, and it's notable that MTD have been able to pull off an asymmetric profile that still feels completely familiar right away. One bonus with the two pickups being so close together is that there's a nice wide area for you to pivot your right hand thumb whilst you're playing. The build quality here is great, with no visible flaws at all. The satin finish is nicely applied and gives both the body and neck a smooth, silky feel, while the hardware is all solid and functional. Something which I personally think is a solution to a problem that doesn't really exist is the buzz feet and compensated tuning system. It basically comprises of a compensated nut and a patented system for setting the intonation at the bridge so that the intervals played on different strings sound more in tune all over the neck. While this is provable with a tuner, in practice I don't hear any great difference and have never experienced issues with dissonant sounding intervals on my own basses as long as they are in tune and intonated conventionally. In summary, what a great bass. It's comfortable to play, it's well made, with a super versatile pickup configuration and a powerful active EQ, all for less than £1,000. It looks great too, and you also have the cachet of the Kingston being designed by one of the best known of the American custom bass luthiers. Hope you enjoyed the video and found it informative. Leave us a comment with your thoughts, subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell icon to be notified of future reviews. And let us know if there's any piece of bass gear you'd like to see featured. That's all from Bass Guitar Review. See you next time.